What the hell? Oh, okay. Hey everybody, welcome back. As you can see, well, dude,
I'm good.
Anyway, so today we're going to be doing our commentary on our second short film, which is entitled Interrogation 101. Let the men handle this. A little bit of background before we begin. So Interrogation 101 started as a movie. So maybe I should go back a little bit further.
It didn't. Yeah, it was.
So every summer there was a digital summer film camp presented by the El Paso Independent School District, and we would participate and we would make a movie, and it was at our own high school, Coronado High School, with our good teacher friend, Mr. Seifert.
Yeah.
Coolest dude ever. And so we were there and we had no ideas. Carlos came up with an idea called Malibu Storms, which was about a guy who gets shot in a robbery because he's like he's the robber, and then he's like dying, so he goes to like this Native American like medicine man to be healed, but the guy is like really incompetent at his job, so he heals him, but he also changes his head into a horse head.
Because it's the spirit animal.
Yeah, because that's a spirit animal.
Right.
And then the guy becomes like super famous, like as a horse-headed guy, and he becomes like a huge star in the porn industry because I guess it didn't just change his head.
Yeah, and then he destroys like.
He becomes like a
chief because he's the drug dealer.
Oh yeah, well so then there's like it was like a whole drug cartel thing. He became like a mule, I guess, a drug mule. I don't know. And anyway, so the main villain was this character called Chapo Bananas,
right?
Who was like a monkey with an upside down face, and he spoke with like telepathy, which was such a cool idea. I thought that was a great idea.
I still think this is a really funny movie idea.
I loved the Chapo Bananas idea. I didn't love
I wasn't 100% on board. Yeah,
I was never 100% on board. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, we can't do this movie. Like, not because I don't want to necessarily, but just because it's so like impractical.
We kept giving the script to Seifert, and he was like, "No."
Yeah, he just kept saying no.
Go back.
He was like, "Cut this out, cut that out, cut this out."
And we would go back with like a 5-page script, and we couldn't do it.
So anyway, so I left for a week to go make a movie at UT Austin for their film camp with my good friend Brennan, who we mentioned in the last commentary is not believing in Douglas Truman.
He shows up in this as well.
He shows up in this one, yeah. When I came back, I thought maybe Brandon and Carlos had like figured something out. I remember I posted on Facebook the day before I came back. We were gone for a week, okay? I remember I posted on Facebook the day before we came back. I was like, I can't wait to come back and see what Carlos and Brandon have done on the movie. And Carlos comments literally nothing. and I got back, and much to no surprise,
He wasn't kidding.
Nothing. They had nothing done. So then I talked to Carlos, and I was like, Carlos, I know you like the idea, but I really don't think we can make this movie. And then Carlos was like...
We filmed the scene, too.
We filmed the scene when they robbed the
convenience
store, and then he gets shot, yeah. Anyway, so Carlos agreed. He was like, okay, yeah. And then the next day, Carlos came back with half of a script, and he's like, hey, guys, let me finish the script. I'm almost got it done right now. He wrote it. So from there, we'll talk about the rest of it as we watch the movie, but... I just wanted to give you that bit of background because it's
written in 24 hours.
Yeah, this was written in less than 24 hours. This is the most
well received.
Yeah, people like this one the most.
Highest rated on Rotten Tomatoes.
Here we go. Interrogation 101.
So what's the story on this creep in cell 9?
Well, he's obviously seriously mentally ill. You didn't laugh at any of my jokes. You can literally... We still are not good at editing audio here.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I should say where this is, but, we were told not to film anything that would indicate where it is. Yeah. So,
should we be saying that?
Yeah. So, there's only two parts of this that are shot at that school. It's that part because that's the teacher's lunch, And
pretty sure we're the only people to film in the basement of this building.
yeah, okay, so this is at a building at the University of Texas El Paso. The building, I believe, is called Seaman Hall. Yeah, we couldn't get over that.
Still can, apparently.
And every time I pass by, I'm like...
So good friend Brooks.
This is our good buddy Brooks, yeah.
Brooks Harrington.
We would constantly write... Brandon would constantly write in all the classrooms at Coronado High School, Brooks was here. As a reference to Brooks, but then we would later find out that was also a reference to the Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, it's one of Brandon's favorite movies. Accidentally, it was a reference to the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
So that Too Hot for TV thing, our friend Blake really hates when people use 2 exclamation points instead of 3. I remember Carlos was like, Carlos immediately was like, oh, put 2 instead of 3, just so it'll make Blake angry. And I was like, okay.
It was censored because, well, Seaford said it was just
so
too
yeah,
hot for
Seaford
TV.
said it was too hot for TV. Do you want to try and explain what it was?
No.
Well, so we obviously didn't want to not show it because Carlos worked too hard on that drawing. And by too hard, I mean he put minimal Carlos effort, which is actually
done in like 30 seconds.
It's like very good though.
It's awesome. It's amazing. I have an entire collection.
So if you really want to, we're trying to get those digitized.
Yeah.
In an attempt to get the audience to kind of see what the picture is, we have him like drop it, and we don't move the Too Hot for TV thing with it, so you can kind of see what it is.
You can even pause it at a bit. And
yeah.
If you want to go back, you can pause
it. It's not appropriate in any way, shape, or form. So I think he was right to tell us to not.
Go check it out.
Yeah, just pause it.
Pause it right at the spot.
So me and Carlos play Stetson and Spotswood. Stetson named after the hat, and Spotswood named after the character from Team America World Police. Brooks plays the psychologist Derek, who you can clearly see we bully very hard in this movie.
We have the police sirens over the censored.
Oh yeah, so there was a big argument about. We were really frustrated because we wanted to have the bad words in the movie.
Yeah.
And we cut out a part where Carlos goes, "The big house," after I say it. But,
yeah. Do we still have that?
I don't know.
I hope
So
so.
the hard thing about this movie was that because it was shot on tape, to import it into the computer, we had to play the tape back at full speed. We had to play it back at full speed and hit record on the editing program, and then we just sat there and waited. So we would watch Hot Fuzz and
Texas
Chainsaw Massacre while we were waiting for it to import.
What's the one Michael Caine movie?
Which one? Where he's like a sexy spy. Yeah, and he like has sex with a bunch of people. Yeah.
Then walks out with a shotgun naked.
Yeah. On Mach High.
What's the name of that movie?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Put it in the comments below. What's the name of that movie? So the movie took a long time to edit because we shot much like Douglas Trimman, we shot this over 2 days.
We were on a crunch.
Yeah, because I was gone for a week. I was there for the camp is 4 weeks long. The camp is 4 weeks long. I was there for the first week. The second week I went to Austin. And then I came back the third week, and we wrote it and shot it and edited it over the next week and a half.
And then the laptop happened.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. This whole commentary is going to be taken over by the story of the laptop. Dude, yeah, no, it goes back really far, but you're not going to fall.
Okay, gotta get used to it then.
Yeah. So personally, I think this is the most boring part of the movie when it's me.
I think this is hilarious.
I don't like this part. I think this goes on too long. But I do like you describing these horrible things. Well,
the best part is the fact that he doesn't hear it.
Yeah, we get these little glimpses. I love when I smell it. I thought.
Yeah, you smell it.
I thought that was pretty good. That's my favorite part of the scene. The rest of it, I'm like, hey, cut all that out. So when we went to edit this movie, we were editing, and we were editing on a laptop, and the laptop crashed.
There's an Apple too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. God. It crashed. And so we were like, ah! And there's only one Apple store in El Paso. And it's all the way in the Far East Side. So this was like 2 days before we had to have the movie finished. So we drove all the way to the Apple store. Me and Brandon and our friend Brennan, who appears later in the movie, because Carlos was out of town at this point. We drove all the way out to the store, and we got it fixed, and we were like, oh, thank God. And there's this picture of us. I love this gag, how he takes the glasses off of me.
We should, we'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, we'll put the picture on the screen right now. There's a picture of us where we're all excited because we just got the laptop fixed. It's me and Brandon and our friend Brandon. And we're all like, we have thumbs up. We're like excited. We got the laptop fixed. We're like, we're gonna finish the movie. It's gonna be good. We drive all the way back to Coronado. You know, we get everything set up. The camp is basically about to end for the day. And, you know, I'm editing again, and I'm, like, making sure everything got saved. And then I'm saving everything as I'm continuing to edit.
This was a nightmare.
And then the laptop crashes again. And we were like, oh, my God. Yeah. And then Brendan was like, I'm not driving it.
I'm not going back.
I'm not going back to the Far East Side.
Screw you guys.
I'm going home. Because we all live, like, right next to our high school. So Brendan went home. And me and Brandon were like, what do we do?
We didn't have a car at that time.
We didn't have a car, you know, and none of us could drive anyway, even if we did have a car.
Yeah.
So Mr. Seifert's like, I'll take you guys to the mall. So we go all the way to the mall. We get it fixed. Seifert brings his hard drive, and they let us take the footage off the computer, and in the Premiere Pro project.
You know, Seifert's the greatest for doing that.
Seifert is the greatest for doing that because we would have been screwed. We would have had to start.
We would have never had Interrogation 101 in the Plaza.
Yeah.
And nobody would have never seen it. We would have never been employed by the Plaza. We would have never met Kyle or Oscar.
That's true, dude. That is super true. We'll get into that. We'll get into that at the end of the movie, but yeah, that just yeah, it was nuts.
This is the pinnacle of our future.
Yeah. This was kind of the jumping off point, was Interrogation 101.
Spearheaded everything.
Because we'll get into it later. But anyway, so we go to the mall. They let us transfer the footage, and Seifert gives us the hard drive, and we give them the laptop, and we're like, go send this off and fix it, because this thing is like messed up. So get out of here. So then we go back to school and we finish editing, and you know, it ended up being fine. But anyway, that's like this movie was kind of a nightmare to get it all together, because it was just like, you know, what the heck, like, like
it was nuts.
Oh man.
Like how he throws a bottle and it vibrates the camera.
Yeah, the camera's like. So one of the things I love about the movie is that this set is horrible.
Yeah, like, it's very questionable as to, are these guys real cops?
Well, yeah, it makes it kind of funnier because it's like we don't know. We don't know if these guys are legit or if they just are like some wacky dudes who have a basement.
Mm-hmm. It raises another level, or are they just crappy cops that are trying to impress the chief?
Yeah, like
he's a killer cop too.
They went to the basement of the police station to do this interrogation because they couldn't get the actual interrogation room. Like the actual good detectives are like in the other interrogation room, and then like they called in Derek like as a favor, like, hey Derek, can you do like a psych eval on this guy? And then they go in and insult him and throw him out of the room. That's kind of funny. I
love that.
Yeah. Carlos's tie was his dad's tie.
He loved it.
And it's really funny. It's a snowman tie. As you can see, it's a Christmas tie.
You click it.
If you click it, it plays, I think, Jingle Bells.
Yeah.
And it would go on forever. Yeah. And you couldn't turn it off. You had to just let it run. So, like, Carlos
we were so, like, frustrated with each other.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I know I was driving everybody crazy.
Brandon was, like, getting everybody, like, because Brandon
everybody's last nerve.
Like, and then Carlos was really frustrated. I think everybody was hungry. I know I hadn't eaten all day.
My face says it all right there.
I know I hadn't eaten all day both days that we filmed.
Yeah.
And then we went to the union at UTEP, the student union where they have all the food. And Brendan and Carlos had money, so they go and they buy food. So we're sitting there just watching them eat, and I'm like dying. I'm like, you know. And I think I have like blood sugar problems or something, because like I cannot function if
Yeah.
I haven't eaten
Yeah.
enough.
No,
Like
I'm same.
there are some days where I cannot eat, and
I was
then
all
I'm
like
like,
punch drunk. I had
you know?
we had the cap gun, and I was just shooting it in
Yeah,
the basement. And
yeah,
Carlos
yeah.
was so mad.
yeah, it just
He
it.
slapped me at one point. Like,
Yeah.
stop it!
I know, and I was getting frustrated too. Like, so this part right here, actually, there's a moment you can tell Carlos is like really. Okay, so that line actually right there, you can tell like Carlos is super tired. He
Pretty
doesn't want to
agitated.
be there. Yeah, he's really frustrated because he just wants to do it and get out of there. And I'm there like a director. Like we need to be giving our all.
Yeah.
Like I'm very frustrated
Yeah.
when we're filming this, but I'm trying. You know, like I'm trying.
We didn't know any of it. We were like it was like literally the script was written 2 days ago.
Yeah, we didn't know what to do.
We were like just juggling everything at once, the props and costumes and learning the lines and
Yeah.
and getting good shots and
So we're just really frustrated. So this line right here is this line it famously made Seifert cry with laughter when he read it. Carlos says, "My dead toothless grandmother could eat a face better than that." Excuse me. And then I say with crutches, and then Carlos says in her mouth.
and licks his lips.
And he licks his lips. That's not in the script. But
It's
so Mr. Seifert
Carlos
thought that was
thing.
the funniest line. I was like, we have to get that right because Mr. Seifert read the script. So I was like, we have to get that right. So you can clearly see. I'll go back. You can clearly see Carlos. He said it wrong. Is what happened. He said my dead grandmother could eat a face better than that, and I was like, you have to say toothless. So I look at him and I say my dead toothless grandmother could eat a face better than that. So his response, you can tell he's like he's doing his hand like this because he's like, okay, yeah, there you go. That's how it's supposed
You
to be
happy?
said.
Like,
Yeah,
you fucking-
yeah,
fuck you.
and, yeah, and the way he says it too. But it plays like it actually plays proper. So it's kind of funny.
I don't think the why really matters here, Spotswood. It's the how.
Right. It's this guy's awful technique.
Worst I've ever seen. You call that eating a little girl's face off, muchacho?
My dead toothless grandmother could eat a face better than that.
Yeah, like he just so is like he's just done.
She's done.
But we
It
shot
was
this.
late. It was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon at this point.
Yeah,
too.
this was late in the day.
Yeah.
We shot this over 2 days. So the first day was this, where it's you, where we're interrogating you
Right.
as the actual killer. And then the rest of the day is lit. Carlos does it in this one and Horse Money
Yeah.
when he's
It's a
talking about
Carlos
like
thing.
dead bodies.
We need to make a sequence, dude.
A supercut of Carlos licking his lips. When we interviewed Beto O'Rourke and you lick your lips, and then
Every
he
few seconds.
licked his lips. Like you asked him a question, and then you licked your lips, just like naturally. And then before he answered the question, he licked his lips, and it was like when we were cutting, it was like, oh, that's crazy.
It registered in his brain to do it too.
Yeah. Do we want to do a video where like the little kid hotline? It's like the other end of the little kid hotline.
Yeah. Or it was gonna be like a scene in another movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, and someone's calling a little kid.
I love the
You
reach.
get slapped.
I deserved it.
I like reach around and slap
I
you.
I
Yeah.
got slapped around in this movie.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. I mean,
I feel like you do a pretty good job in this as the psycho
I felt
killer.
that I did so bad.
I remember when on set, I thought everybody did bad. I remember being on set and I was like, ugh. Like, I was like, I don't want to make this movie. And, like, when we got to Brennan, more of the stuff with the Brennan
It
stuff
was
is
more fluid.
really
Brennan's
funny.
like a trained
Yeah.
actor. He's
Yeah.
handsome.
Yes,
You know.
and Brennan, like, and Brennan and Carlos have this great, like, back and forth.
Yeah. No. Yeah. They
With
just had
the
a great.
timing.
Yeah.
They're really funny.
So natural.
Like, just, yeah, naturally.
I had no training at this point.
When we
I
were
didn't know what
hanging
the hell I
out
was
at
doing.
lunch,
Yeah.
Brendan and Carlos would like be like
Yeah.
bouncing off each other, but you and I can bounce off each other pretty
Yeah.
good too.
Dude,
But
that's
then,
what I
like,
was telling somebody the other day. I was like, we're like nega Carlos and Brennan.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the read technique is what inspired the script. Carlos read that night when I told Carlos we need to make a different movie. Carlos read about the read technique. He looked up the Wikipedia article and everything. So that's
It's
the
all real
extent of his
interrogation
knowledge.
techniques.
But the read technique, Carlos was like, "This is a horrible
It's all real.
thing to do to people."
Yeah, it's terrible.
So he was like, let's make a comedy about it. And I love the way it's broken up. It just makes the movie so much more like organized as a movie because you get like the title cards and Carlos and Brandon are like on fire in these scenes.
Yeah.
So here's another thing. This is kind of an insight into how we make our movies. We have one camera.
Always.
So all of these takes are different takes. It's never them actually conversing legitimately. And every time the camera's over someone else's shoulder, they're reading from the script. So Carlos, you can see his head is kind of tilted down because he's reading the script. So you can see, like right there, he's clearly looking down. He's not looking at Brennan. And then we cut to this.
I love that face.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, and then this was the last thing we shot were these intros to each step in the technique. This is so funny. Most of this is improv. Like it's in the script, but then Carlos would just always add like a good chunk to it. When he says I'm no Islamic terrorist, you know, I mean, but did you see what she was wearing? A Daddy's Little Princess t-shirt? Like that whole thing is not in the script. He just is trying to get him to say the little girl deserved it. I love Brennan really flatly delivering that. Like he's like
Brennan just doesn't want to.
Yeah. Oh man. This was like so funny to edit. When we shot it, I was like mad at everyone.
Yeah.
I was so mad. I remember this was like a really frustrating thing.
Yeah.
And then when I was editing, I was like, this is actually really funny.
Yeah.
That's a great line that Carlos wrote too. It's like, it's very like the whole thing is building up to it's difficult to incarcerate an innocent person. So I don't really understand because Stetson and Spotswood are incredibly incompetent, and like you straight up tell us
I admit to the murder
that you're the murderer.
Yes.
But because you go on these like long-winded
tangents
things about like killing God and stuff,
I just don't believe him.
Stetson and Spotswood are like, never mind.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to deal with this guy.
It's too much paperwork.
So they just do this instead. You can tell this is a different day too, because I think they both have like different energy. Carlos has better energy than he did the day before.
Yeah,
and you can see Brennan laughing here. His shoulders bouncing.
Carlos was just very mad with me because I couldn't get that mother line right either.
Oh yeah,
mother and God.
Oh my God, you kept saying that. Right? I forgot about that.
And I kept laughing because I thought it was so funny though.
I forgot. What's the line? What was it? What's the line? I don't even think it's in the movie.
It was with
It's with Brooks. Yeah.
No. Show me your mother. Mother?
Oh yeah, because it was supposed to be like you're asking him like mother, like that's the word.
Mother.
You know.
But just like I was just saying it wrong.
I think this is the funniest cut. It never gets as big a laugh as I want. This mother right here.
Oh no, yeah, this is a great cut.
I don't know why it never. I love how long it takes too. Like this long like reaching over. It should have been faster, but I think it's really funny. It never gets as big a laugh as I hope
expect it to. Yeah.
Now Spotswood is going to offer the accused different options for plea bargains or compromises, you name it. Usually, the suspect will sit there, listen quietly, but if he breaks down and cries, it's protocol to infer guilt.
Okay, you've got like two options here.
The idea here is he's giving him two options, and the second option was always a punchline. So the first incarnation of the joke is he says the second option is called the horny camper. Want to know why it's called the horny camper?
Because
and then Brennan says why, and then Carlos says
it's fucking intense.
And we thought that was I didn't get it. It was funny, but I didn't get it. And then like a year later, I was like, oh, like I got it. And I was like, that was stupid.
I thought that was one of the funniest lines.
I thought the second version of the line was funnier.
Oh.
So the second version of the line was he was like, the second option we'd like to call the psychic hooker. Want to know why we call it the psychic hooker? And Brennan says why, and then Carlos goes, because it'll blow your mind. And I still use that joke today because I think it's too funny.
I used the fucking intense one a lot.
So then Mr. Seifert, when we were workshopping it, he's like, the first one has the F word in it, so we can't use it. And then he was like, the second one is not appropriate because it implies a blowjob, so we can't. can't do that. And then he was like, how about we do the chili dog nightmare? and we were like, oh, okay, that's kind of funny. And then the punchline was, we call it the chili dog nightmare. We call it the chili dog nightmare because you'll spill the beans and soil your jeans. And I was like, that's pretty funny. I thought it was kind of silly. I liked it. It was in the realm of what our comedy is.
We threw all of that right out the window though, and for this.
Yeah, so we're filming, and then Carlos just... So you also... When Carlos delivers a line, you can see all of us immediately... Like, Brennan... Or no, Carlos, like, is immediately laughing in the middle of delivering the line. It's just not even, like...
That's the first option. The second option, we like to call the chili dog nightmare. You want to know why?
Why?
Because it was invented by a guy down at the station called Chili Dog Nightmare.
Like, Brennan is losing it, too. Because he didn't tell us he was going to say that. It was very much a legitimate improv.
Yeah, it was it's a good improv.
Much like in Douglas Truman when I threw the paper ball at Pepper's face.
Yeah.
We cut it right before the audio spikes because all of us are, like, howling with laughter. Yeah.
So just so we're clear as to why you ate that little girl's face, was it because you're a jerk with no friends and nobody likes, you smell awful, you look like a dog, or was it because you're an edgy, cool, next level top tier bruh?
You look like a dog. Dude, like, I don't even know. This is a great back and forth. I had so much fun editing this.
Somebody's face.
And you just did what I just asked. I love that. Like, you just did what I just asked.
I want to, like, upload this clip to Instagram.
Yeah, it's so
everybody
good.
To go watch it.
We should. We should.
Yeah, I'm going to do that tonight.
I did do what you just said.
You ate somebody's face.
I haven't eaten anyone's face.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. If I were to ask you right now, if you ate somebody's face, would the answer to that question be the same as the answer to this question?
So I kind of cheated this shot. I made this shot way longer. That's too good. Brennan is like gold. I mean, Brennan is like, he is a trained actor.
Oh yeah, he's great. Brennan's awesome.
Like,
he blows it all out of the water.
He is just so funny. And when we do the commentary on Horse Money, I don't think we're gonna have time to do it right now.
Yeah.
But when we do the commentary on Horse Money, we'll do the one that has the
plaza cut.
The plaza cut, and that has Bullet Surgeon in front of it, which is like with Brennan at like peak Brennan. Yeah. He's so funny. I love the gag about that one. Never gets a big laugh either. Is the gag about Spotswood eating my sandwich. Oh yeah, everything Mellow Yellow. Yeah. I'll tell you about the time me and Stetson drank a whole gallon of Mellow Yellow.
That's a really good one too.
I love. I remember my cousin when we posted the movie on Facebook. My cousin Aiden thought that the funniest bit was me going, well, joke's on you because it's opposite day. Lock him up, Spotswood. Yeah. So now it's come full circle, and I don't think I understood this when I first read the script, but it's really funny now because we're like trying to do what Derek was doing to make it more legitimate, I guess.
Yeah.
I love the line about "call me a corrupt cop again."
Yeah.
Seifert really was pushing for us to make. Carlos has a line there where he says, "Give me robot arms" in the drawing, and Seifert was like, "Make that loud because it's funny."
Yeah.
And I was like, it's funnier if it's in the background. Yeah. You like hear him, and then Brennan like crying in the background. I remember there were some people thought he was laughing, and I was like,
he's laughing.
He's weeping. He's going to prison.
Yeah.
He's going to prison for eating a little girl's face, and he didn't do it. Yeah. Oh yeah, to serve as this ending, we had to put on sunglasses, but I was like, we have to take our glasses off to do that. Back on. Yeah.
You can see me in the shot with the glasses.
Yeah. You Carlos says an inappropriate thing here, which went by me when we first cut it together. This is also the first time we did credits where I had fun editing the credits.
Yeah. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was just because I mean we had a good time. I just like Brennan's laugh here. Brooks, there you go. Brooks, thanks Brooks, and Carlos
the man, Chandler,
yeah.
the man.
The way he's like petting Brennan's head. Oh yes,
oh,
this
I
shot,
kept annoying everybody.
Everyone is
look
really
how pissed off they are at me.
Brandon, yeah. Everyone is really mad at Brandon in that shot, in case you can't tell. But it was too good to not use in the
I
credits.
kept asking, is the mic on?
Oh yeah, that's like a gag now. Like
Yeah.
that's a meme.
Yeah.
Amongst the two
amongst
of
us.
us.
Yeah, is the mic on?
Yeah, when we go to film, we'll be like, "Is mic on?
The mic on?
Is
Is
mic
mic
on?
on? Mic on?
Because Brandon would just ask that like
Every shot.
incessantly.
The green light was on, and I would still. Is the mic on?
And I guess I'm assuming it's because there were moments where we realized the mic wasn't on when we were filming.
And then it paid off because there were moments where it wasn't on.
Yeah, when you did
Even
ask.
after I was asking.
Yeah, so it worked. It was like
So double dumbasses on you guys.
yeah, I know. Yeah, it was like that was it was annoying, but it worked.
It taught us something.
Yeah, it did. It
Yeah,
did. It really
yeah.
did. And we still make that mistake to
Yeah.
this day, but
Sometimes.
not as much as we used to. So
The sequel for this one.
the sequel for this one, if we made a sequel, it would be
On the streets.
it would be CSI 101. It would be Crime Scene 101.
Yeah.
Um,
And they would be seeking help from Face Eater.
yeah, they would. Yeah.
Like Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they should ask Brennan. They would go to Brennan because he'd be in prison.
I guess. Oh yeah, I would be
and
like
then
Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, because he'd
Yeah.
be like Buffalo Bill, and
And then
he's out
Brendan
like
would be in
committing
prison
crimes.
telling him what's really happening
then-
out there
and
because he's just
Brendan-
reading the news.
And then Brendan would be like, "You guys are idiots!" Like,
Yeah,
he's all
it's
mad because
yeah.
we arrested
Yeah.
him. So, and then you're all Buffalo Bill,
Buffalo
like,
Bill.
like you know,
Put the lotion,
lotion
in
in
the
the
basket.
put the lotion in the basket.
We should really do this. I really
That
want.
would be really.
I really
funny.
want to do that now.
That'd be great. Interrogation 101 really is the landmark short film for us because we once again, much like Douglas Truman, we screened Interrogation 101 at the Plaza Classic Film Festival, and the film festival screened it twice. First at the Good, the Bad, and the Indie,
Yeah.
like with Douglas Truman, which is
Yeah.
what basically any movie that gets sent into the film festival, with a few exceptions, including one of our own short films. Basically gets into the Good, the Bad, and the Indie. But then there are like short film groupings that they do. And so Interrogation 101 was part of that. Was part of one of those. And we got to do a Q&A afterwards. And so we got to talk about it. People asked us about like the editing. And I was really proud of it because I did most of the editing with like you and Brennan were like next to me. You know, like I would bring the laptop home, edit, and then I would go to the camp the next day and show you guys what I'd done.
Yeah.
And then we would talk about it, and then we keep editing. And it was really great. And so you know, I was really proud of the movie, and I was really happy because the audience, like sitting down and watching it with an audience, the audience at Good, the Bad, and the Indie wasn't as good, but the audience when we did the short films,
They loved it.
they loved it. Yeah, and including Mr. Holland, a teacher of
Yeah,
ours,
Mr. Holland
who
was there.
teaches film appreciation at Coronado.
Awesome.
As well, he's an English teacher, but he's a great guy, and he was there to support us. He's awesome. So then at the end of the film festival, Eric Pearson, the president of the El Paso Community Foundation, who also helps run the film festival, he came up to us at the after party and was like, "Hey, I saw your movie. That was really good." He was like, "That was so funny. You guys did a good job." And we were like, "Oh, you know, we were just being goofy." We felt a little validated. We love the film festival so much. So we emailed our good friend Julie Tarwater, who formerly worked at the film festival and the Community Foundation.
She's in charge of the teen club.
Yeah, she was in charge of the teen club, which we were in at the time.
Yeah.
And we asked her, can we make a commercial just for like an internet? We were just like, can we just make like an internet commercial for
The Christmas.
for the Christmas, like the slashing the price, and then they also screen movies in December for the film festival. And they slash the price on the movie pass, on the festival pass. And Julie was like, "Oh, that's a cool idea. Yeah, go for it." And then we didn't do it, and we felt bad. And then Julie emailed us out of the blue, like in February, and she was like, "Oh, Eric wanted to know if you guys wanted to just make the TV commercials for the film festival." And we were like, "Yes!" It was like the most exciting thing. And so we have the whole backlog of commercials. I think we're going to upload them to this channel. because they're on our old channel. But we'll upload all that same stuff to this channel, just so this channel can be the main hub where people can go. But you can check those out in links.
Link them around.
Yeah, we'll link them around. So the main thing I think about this movie that always makes me laugh is that it's not really a movie. It starts as like a narrative movie, and then it turns into like an instructional video for like 80% of the movie, and then the last portion of it again is like a movie.
It goes back to the narrative.
Yeah, which is it's incredibly bizarre. Same thing with Douglas Truman. So we hadn't made like a narrative movie, and then we decided the next movie we make was going to be like a narrative story. But that wouldn't be a year later until Horse Money, and that's going to be the next thing we talk about. So we hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit about Interrogation 101.
Give us money so we can make more of them.
Yeah, we'll make more. Sorry about the air conditioner. It's just way too hot in here. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed. Feel free to peruse around our other videos.
Find us on Instagram. Here's our Instagram names. Here's mine.
There's Brandon,
Skyler's.
and there's mine, yeah. Boop, boop, boop. We will, my phone's going off, I'm sorry guys.
Adios.
Let's cut everything.
Oh, fuck yeah.